Hello, and welcome to the 5th episode of Power Dynamics for Life. I'm Dr. Aisha Haynes-Belizaire, and this video is for educational purposes. Today's topic is the Second Amendment and public safety. What can we do? This is a very sad time because over the last 2.5 weeks here in the United States of America, we have experienced two major mass shootings. The first was in Buffalo, New York, where an 18-year-old took a semi-automatic assault rifle into a grocery store and mowed down 10 people. Then 10 days later, before even everybody was buried in Buffalo, New York, an 18-year-old took a semi-automatic assault rifle into an elementary school in Uvalde, Texas, and mowed down 19 students, fourth graders, and 2 of their teachers. And so we have to ask ourselves, and these are just the 2 that I've highlighted. Mass shootings are just something that happens all the time. It is an epidemic in the United States of America. Why is that just our country that this happens? This doesn't happen in other countries. It is a uniquely American problem. And you'll hear lawmakers say, well, you know what? It was a mental health problem, or it was a problem in the home, or it was violent video games. And yes, those things may be true. But the other reason, the other 2 reasons, 2 main reasons: the National Rifle Association and the Second Amendment, the NRA and the Second Amendment. So let's jump into the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment states that a well-regulated militia being necessary to secure a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Okay, so let's look into why that was. This was written in 1791. We had just got our independence from Britain, the Revolutionary War, and there was no standing army. There's no police department. People hunted for their food. So it was necessary to keep and bear arms. And it also says a well-regulated militia because they wanted to know if they needed to call back up the men of the country to stand again, to fight against the British if they were to come back, or to protect the community. And let's look at the weapons that they had at that time. They had muskets, okay? A musket, you can shoot off 2 to 3 bullets per minute. A semi-automatic assault rifle, you can shoot off about up to 100 bullets per minute. 2 very, very different weapons. So what I want to do today is to get into the school shootings, 3 school shootings that they say we learned and protocols changed after that, but how a lot of those protocols failed in Uvalde. So first of all, I want to talk about Columbine, and that was in 1999. 15 people died at Columbine, including the 2 shooters who were students at 12th graders at Columbine High School. And prior to Columbine, the protocol was to call the SWAT team before the police went in. But after Columbine, they realized that the first 2 officers or so on the scene need to go in and try to distract the shooter and take him out to get his attention off of the civilian population. And so that was a change in protocol from that time. And so then after Columbine, the next major school shooting that was a really traumatic one to the nation was Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut. And a 19-year-old, he was 20 years old. He shot and killed 26 people, 20 first graders and 6 staff members at the school. And after Sandy Hook, everybody thought, things were going to change. You started hearing more about what could be done. And, the president at the time, President Obama and Vice President Biden, were really trying to fight to get common sense gun laws. But the NRA, with the power that they have and the vice grip that they have over so many members of Congress and the money that they give them to make sure that the gun industry can continue to market their guns to younger and younger populations of people, to say that, hey, if you have this gun, it's going to make you strong. It's going to bring back your manhood. And they found out that, yeah, with a handgun, they could get a couple of $100, but with a semi-automatic rifle, they can get 4 times that amount. So they kept marketing those weapons to young men. And so after Sandy Hook, you had what they call school hardening. This was what some of the lawmakers were willing to do. So that's when you started seeing the bulletproof glass before you get into the school, the cameras outside of the school, so that they could see who it was, and you had to get buzzed in. And then you would have a resource officer at the front of the school. Some schools started having bulletproof doors on their classrooms, and their classrooms were then required to be locked. And so all of these things were what came out of Sandy Hook. And you started hearing the NRA, they had a new mantra. The only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. And so this is what they were telling everybody. They even wanted to arm teachers. And I'm going to tell you, as a teacher, I don't want to be armed. I got enough to lock up my purse to make sure my purse is secure. I don't want to be worried about a gun. And that's not a teacher's job, okay? But the same people that want to tell you, let's arm teachers, are the same people that don't trust teachers. They don't want teachers to teach accurate U.S. history. So go figure that one. So after Sandy Hook, the next major one where we did see some change, school shootings, was Parkland, Florida, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. And that was where a 19-year-old came and he shot 17 people. He killed 17 people. And so after that, the Parkland kids, they had a march on Washington, a march, it was called March for Your Lives, the next month, and they demanded that the age to purchase a firearm be raised from 18 to 21. So their governor, Republican, Rick Scott, raised in the state of Florida the age from 18 to 21 to buy a firearm. Also, what also came out of that was red flag laws. And that is when a judge adjudicates that if you are a threat to yourself or others, and that has to be a recommendation of a mental health specialist, you cannot have a firearm. And so these were some of the progress, but still no movement on the national level. So now we go fast forward to Uvalde, Texas. And in Uvalde, these measures fell. The resource officer, he wasn't there. Now, it was lunchtime, so he could have been at lunch. I don't know. That's a possibility. But the shooter was in the school for an hour and 20 minutes. He came in through an unlocked door that had been left open. He was inside law enforcement. When they got there, the first 2 officers, they were shot. They were grazed with bullets, and they retreated, and they waited for backup. And so you had people from Border Patrol, the tactical teams. You had some U.S. Marshals there. At one point, there were 19 law enforcement people in the hallway outside of the classroom waiting on the key from the janitor to get inside the classroom. Meanwhile, for 47 minutes, while they were outside, the good guys with the gun, the perpetrator, the 18-year-old who bought himself an AR-15, AR-15s for his 18th birthday, was inside the classroom just spraying. And children are screaming and crying, and they're calling 911. And they were begging for the police to come. So now we've got 19 fourth graders dead and 2 teachers dead, and a community just terrorized and grief-stricken. and a country grief-stricken, and we're tired. We should be able to go to school and to church and to concerts and just live life and shop for groceries and go to Walmart and whatever it is that we need to do without being worried that we're going to be mowed down by somebody who has mental health issues. And so, you know what? It's time for action. And since the beginning of 2022, we have now had over 200 mass shootings, and a mass shooting is considered any time when 4 or more people are murdered, okay, or 4 or more people are shot. I'm sorry, and you know, these weapons, these semi-automatic rifles, they are weapons of war. They are designed to pulverize flesh, shatter bones, blow out organs. That belongs on a battlefield. And if you want to shoot a semi-automatic rifle, then join the military. So now it is time for action. I am asking you, as American citizens, you know, I always say that we are very blessed to live in a democracy, and we are. But that means that these lawmakers, they work for us. They don't work for the NRA, okay? They work for us, the American citizens. And so you know what? I want you to write and to call your Congress members, your members in the House of Representatives, your members in the U.S. Senate, and we need to get common sense gun laws. And I will put down the information in the description box, the telephone number to the U.S. Capitol Switchboard, and also the websites, but they're very simple. The website to the House of Representatives is House.gov, and the website to the Senate is Senate.gov. And when you go into House.gov, you will put in your zip code and it will tell you who your representative is. You go to Senate.gov, you put in your state, and each state has 2 senators, and it will tell you who your 2 senators are. Send them an email. Call them, because the only way they are going to make change is that we as American citizens demand change. And what are we asking for? We're asking for common sense gun laws. No, I'm not saying that take away all the guns. I mean, that's part of our culture. The guns are here. I'm a gun owner. I'm a responsible gun owner. Okay? So what we're asking for is 90% of Americans want background checks so we can keep people who have mental health issues and are a threat to themselves and others from getting firearms. The next one is a ban on semi-automatic rifles. They are weapons of war. If you want to shoot one, like I said before, join the military, okay? Do that. They need to have that for the military and for the tactical teams of law enforcement, but not for civilian populations. The next one is red flag laws. I don't know if I already said that. I might have said red flag laws, but yes, definitely that. And raising the age from 18 to 21 years old to purchase a firearm. Also, we need more mental health services. This community and just a country as a whole, we've just been through so much. We got so much going on, but this right here, this has to end. This has to stop. We got to make it better. So I just want to say, you know, thank you so much for joining me here today for Power Dynamics for Life. And also, the kids from Parkland, they're having on June 11th, they're having another march on Washington and in major cities in the U.S. And so their website, I will also put in the description box. And so I just want to say thank you so much for joining me here today. We can change this. We can make a difference. And I also would like to remind you to like, share, subscribe. Please share this video because we need as many people to call to action as possible. And also, I'm going to be doing a weekly video starting in mid-June. So I thank you so much. I'm Dr. Aisha Haynes-Belizaire, and I look forward to talking to you and seeing you on our next episode very, very soon. Bye-bye.